It's another delicious day here in the Let's Make Food from Food Kitchen, and today I'm making some fried tofu with a soy sauce ginger fish sauce to dip it in. It's gonna be delicious. So let's go ahead and get started. I have everything out that I need. I do need to drain this though. So this is, let's talk about this for a sec. It is extra firm tofu. If you do the soft tofu, it might not hold together as you fry it. So there's no coating going on this. It's a very simple fried tofu. Now, tofu takes on the flavor of what you cook it with. So for this, I am just going to simply fry it in some oil, but the dipping sauce is going to be what gives us our flavor. So I'm gonna get this open and drained, and I will be right back. Okay, my tofu is now ready to be worked with. What is tofu? Tofu is made by coagulating soy milk and then pressing it into this shape here. It's also known as bean curds in the English countries, I believe. So I need to make some rectangles. So I'm gonna start by slicing it this way. And I should also turn on my skillet to, I'm gonna say about 375. We're gonna heat some oil, but I want my pan to heat up first. So I want some rectangles, and the size of it is kind of up to you. This is what the inside looks like. So pressed outside, package, imprint, inside. Okay, and you can eat it just like that. You don't have to cook it. Okay, now I'm going to just carefully make some slices. And really, you can make sticks like this. You can make squares, it's up to you. It doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle. So I'm gonna make these sizes, more like bite sizes to just dip in single bite. Single bite size, that's what I'm making, yeah. So once this heats up, we're gonna warm up our oil and then single layer into these, and they cook for 6 to 8 minutes per side, but that's not like all 4 sides. You can do this side 6 to 8 minutes, flip it over, okay? So once that heats up, we'll get our oil going and start making our sauce. Okay, we're ready to add our oil, and it's about 3 tablespoons, but you wanna have an even layer kind of filling the bottom of your pan. So it will also depend on the size pan you have. This is quite a bit more than I was planning on using, but it's a larger pan, so I'll probably be able to get most of this cooked in one batch. If you need to work in batches to accommodate your pan size, or you don't want to use as much oil and use a smaller pan, that's entirely up to you and totally fine. And we're gonna wait for that oil to get hot. Okay, and we'll see kind of a shimmer sheen developing on it. And I also have, this is optional, I have one of my baking sheets with some paper towel. When I take them out, I'm just going to let them sit on here for a minute to absorb any excess oil so I don't have to digest it and contribute to my belly. Not that there's anything wrong with having a belly. And I've got different tools out to remove it. I'll probably end up using the tongs, but just in case, I got my smaller spider out to assist me in whichever way that I might need. And you'll notice I'm not seasoning these at all. No salt, no nothing, because we are gonna season them. They'll get their flavor from the dipping sauce that we use. So let's go ahead and start them in. Let's put these to the side. I do want to separate them as I put them in. So I've grabbed a paper towel because this bottom layer is still a little bit wet, and that is going to splatter in the oil, and I don't want to get burned. We'll cook those for 6 to 8 minutes. They should get golden, and then we'll flip them over. In the meantime, we're gonna make our sauce. So I've got all of my ingredients for the sauce. This is 2 tablespoons of a premium soy sauce. I like to go to the international market and get that. This is a fish sauce, okay? And if you've never had fish sauce, don't judge it till you try it. It goes well in many dishes, and I'm willing to bet that you've had them if you've been to any kind of Asian restaurant and had any dipping sauce. Not all of them have it, but quite a few do. This is a ½ teaspoon of sesame oil. I love the flavor of sesame oil. A little bit goes a long way though. Then I have about a tablespoon, generous tablespoon of scallions. Okay, and then I'll get to my garlic and ginger in just a second here. So 2 garlic cloves, we're just gonna press them right into my bowl here. And then I have some fresh ginger, and I need about a teaspoon, and you can chop it or you can grate it. I'm going ahead and peeling the whole thing because I'm gonna use this also for my next dish, which these are going to complement, and that's going to be chicken lettuce wraps. Those will be delicious. All right, ginger's peeled. I have this nifty little tool. It's a ginger grater. If you don't have it, you can grate it with a little grater, or you can chop it fine, dice it. Totally fine, whichever you want to do. But the ginger will give it a little bite. You can also add a teaspoon or more or less of like a chili paste if you like spicy. I do not. This ginger is going to give it enough bite between the garlic and the ginger. I should have plenty of bite. So this little gadget just peels it. You can take this part and rotate it, and it'll get it off of the back of it and put it in the container for me. Okay, and I'm just going to put that in there. And this comes off too, so you can just, I don't even remember what it's called. There's a product video I did. Not sponsored. It was a product video I did for my other company. I make product videos for people. Anyway, so I'm just going to use my nifty tool here and stir it up. Okay? And this I will reserve for my next recipe. Okay, I'm going to carefully check. We're getting there. We're not quite ready for flipping. But I'm just going to kind of flip them from this side to this because that's kind of how I filled my pan. And I have a serving dish ready to go with my sauce. All right, let's go ahead and give these a flip. So this is where we're at. Flip them on over. All right, once you've got them all flipped over, cook them for an additional 6 to 8 minutes. You want this nice golden color that we've got. Let me see if I can show you better. This nice golden color right here that we've got. As we get closer to our time, I'm going to check these thinner ones and probably take those off because they aren't going to take as long as the thicker ones. I didn't exactly do a great job of making them all equal sizes, and I'm not mad about it. So I'm just going to take these little ones off and let the bigger, thicker ones continue to cook. Okay, I've taken them all off, and I am about done draining off the excess oil, which I think was a good call because I can see it all over the paper towel. And I'm just going to gently pop them here on my plate. And here we go. I feel like I could have gotten a smaller plate, but that's okay. The recipe says a pound. This was actually 14 ounces, so just 2 ounces shy. The recipe works with 14 ounces. It works with a pound. It works with any size, really. It's the sauce. You might have some leftover sauce if you have a smaller batch, but it's totally fine. So I am just going to use my fingers because it's an appetizer, right? Finger food, and just dip it and swirl it. Oh, that sauce. Perfect. Now, someone might say you could, and you can, salt as soon as you take it off before it cools. You could salt your tofu, but I would caution you to taste your sauce first because soy sauce is very salty and so is fish sauce. So unless you're eating this by itself, I wouldn't do that because this is going to be very salty for you. Thanks for joining me here today in the Let's Make Food from Food kitchen for another kitchen adventure. From my kitchen to yours, let's make food from food.
That's one